Headlines of the week. President Bush addresses the world one last time. The world changes its address, so he'll stop coming over. Also, UN Secretary General demands Israel ends attack on Gaza. So Israel attacks the UN. And Farhan Bukhari gives me the latest political gossip. Is the PPP and the PMLN finally getting back together? Or will the lawyers' movement stop their happily ever after? This is News Weekly, and I'm counting the seconds until Bush leaves. No, literally, I'm counting the seconds. 36,543, 36,542, 36,541. Hello everybody and welcome to episode 12 of News Weekly for the week ending Monday the 19th of January 2009. I'm Sami Shah. Now, 8 years ago, President George W. Bush ascended to the presidency of the United States of America. And now, 8 years later, long, hard, brutal and exhausting 8 years later, his time as president has come to an end. So if you're 8 years old, then A, welcome to the most important change in your life until you hit puberty. And B, go to sleep. It's late. What are you doing up on a weekday at this time? You have school tomorrow. Last week, President Bush decided to deliver a final round of speeches to the world. Or at least those parts of it still lucky enough to be left alive after his time in office. Maybe it was an attempt to reflect upon his legacy. Maybe it was just him trying to raise his low approval rating.
I wouldn't worry about popularity.
Well, I suppose you can't worry about something you can never have. The same way I don't worry about private jets and supermodels. First up was his speech delivered to the White House press corps. So, did the reflective, contemplative Bush in the waning days of his presidency have any regrets?
Not having weapons of mass destruction was a significant disappointment.
Wait, what?
Not having weapons of mass destruction was a significant disappointment.
Iraq's failure to be in possession of weapons of mass destruction was disappointing to him? As in, he was disappointed that Iraq didn't have the ability to destroy America. You know who else was disappointed about that? This guy. A few days later, Bush delivered his farewell address to America. And in it, he showed the same level of delusion that has been the hallmark of his time in the Oval Office.
Iraq has gone from a brutal dictatorship and a sworn enemy of America to an Arab democracy at the heart of the Middle East and a friend of the United States.
Which Iraq is he talking about? This one, maybe?
We call on Mr. Bush to get out.
This is almost too easy.
Afghanistan has gone from a nation where the Taliban harbored al-Qaeda and stoned women in the streets to a young democracy that is fighting terror and encouraging girls to go to school.
Gloomy assessments about the Taliban's resurgence in Afghanistan. That presence has spread to 72% of the country.
America is promoting human liberty, human rights, and human dignity.
The United States under Bush has gone from a government that was often at the forefront of promoting human rights to one that is the most prominent violator of human rights.
Across our country, students are rising to meet higher standards in public schools.
Senator Richardson, you've had to implement No Child Left Behind in your state. Would you scrap it, revise it?
I would scrap it. It doesn't work. Kids that are not scoring well in science and math, 29th in the world.
Murdering the innocent to advance an ideology is wrong every time, everywhere.
655,000 Iraqis have died since the Iraq War.
I do know that a lot of innocent people have died. The battles waged by our troops are part of a broader struggle between two dramatically different systems. Under one, a small band of fanatics demands total obedience to an oppressive ideology. Either you're with us, either you love freedom and with nations which embrace freedom, or you're with the enemy. There's no in between. You're either with us or you're with the enemy. That's clear.
So long, George. Let's not keep in touch.